Hey, welcome back to Hook and Sword. Today we're going to learn how to make Molly Hayes' hat from the Runaways. And this one is from Brian Vaughn's comic book series, and there's also a TV show on Hulu. Essentially, the comic book is about a group of teenagers who get together once a year, and they're friends, and their parents are friends, and the kids decided to spy on the parents one evening, and lo and behold, they found out their parents were supervillains. What? So the kids, naturally, they ran away from home because they didn't want to be involved of supervillains. They wanted to do good with the world and just not have anything to do with them or any association. So all of them ran away together, and the youngest of the group is Molly Hayes. And she wears hats like this, and she is kind of the innocent one of the group. So this one was probably my favorite. This one I think was mostly from the TV show. So without further ado, I am going to show you how to make this. So let's talk about materials. You are going to need one skein of Red Heart with Love papaya. You'll only need one, and you won't need all of it. You'll need a hook. The yarn actually calls for a K10.5 or a 6.5 milliliters. You'll need some stitch markers, some yarn needles, and some scissors. Now I'm going to turn the camera down and I'll show you how to make this. Alright, let's go ahead and get started with the hat portion. It will be from here to here. Okay, so we're going to start with the Red Heart with Love papaya. Alright, we're going to start with that slip knot where we put our fingers underneath the yarn, and we're going to form our X. Go under and make that X. Alrighty, so now we're going to flip over our fingers. Now we have 2 loops on our fingers, and get our hook. And we're going to go under and over. And then we're going to keep pulling until we make that knot right next to our hook. Okay, now we're going to pull. Alrighty, so now we are going to chain 57. Right, get our middle finger and our thumb and yarn over. Pull through. Yarn over, pull through. So I have a video on how to make a foundation chain and the slip knot, and I will put that information in the description. So next, after you make your chains, you are going to untwist and have the V's face up. Usually my chain kind of gets twisted, but it untwists itself when I start crocheting. But we are going to form a loop using this chain to form the hat. So we want to make sure the V's are facing up when we do this. Okay, now we're going to make the ends meet, and we're going to make a slip stitch. So how to do that slip stitch, we're going to put our hook in one of the V's, like so, push in, and we're going to yarn over, pull through, and then pull through that last loop, and that is a slip stitch. So at this point, I will go ahead and try this on to make sure it's not as loose. And we're going to chain 1. Now we're going to do half double crochet all the way around. We're going to do yarn over, insert our hook. Okay. Now we're going to actually go in one of the loops. Yarn over, right here, the closest chain from your hook. Okay, so yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through. There are 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Alright, that's what it looks like. Let's do it again. We're going to go in that back loop right there. We are going to yarn over, insert our hook in the chain, yarn over, pull through. There are 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. That's what it looks like. One more time. We're going to go again in that 1 loop. Alright, yarn over, insert our hook. There we go. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Okay, so you're going to keep going all the way around. And I would insert a stitch marker on that first half double crochet you did on both of those stitches. Okay, I have done most of the first row and I have a few stitches left. Okay, these 2, I'm going to go ahead and do half double crochet. Alright, right there. Same loop. Yarn over. Insert my hook. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Yarn over, insert my hook into the last stitch. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Alright, so we have a few options here. We can either slip stitch and chain 1 after every row. So let me go ahead and show you what that looks like. I'm going to take out that slip stitch. Alright, we're going to do that one right in there in both loops. Insert my hook. Alrighty. As you can see, there's both loops on there. Yarn over, pull through, and then pull through again. That's a slip stitch. I would put the stitch marker right where you did that. And then chain 1. And then you would continue to half double crochet all the way around. Okay, so that's what it would look like for your first option. You'll have that sort of line. Or if you want to do an option 2, which is the second half of the hat, there is no line where you would do a slip stitch. So let me go ahead and show you how to do option 2. So you're at the end of the row and you're taking out your stitch marker. Instead of slip stitching, you are just going to half double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. And that's it. You just keep going all the way around. Alright, let's take a look at the cat ears. So we're going to try and make this as dramatic as possible. So your project is probably looking a lot like this without the ear flaps. So I would turn your project inside out, and instead of stitching just along the top, go a little bit in. You will have some extra fabric at the top, but if you make it a little bit longer than your normal head, then you will allocate for that extra head space. And then once when you sew that, turn it inside out like this, and you have dramatic ears. Okay, so once when you finish your hat, you are going to go ahead and do a fasten off. Here is the loop where you were crocheting in, and you're going to take that long string and pull through. Alright, grab that yarn and just pull, and what that's going to do is make a knot just like that. So now you are going to turn this inside out. Alrighty, and have that string be on the edge of your hat. right over there. There you go. Now you're gonna get your yarn needle and you're gonna thread it and you're gonna make that U shape. So what I like to do in the corners is I like to have a little bit of extra security. Alright, so I'm gonna insert my yarn needle. Alright. And just pull through a few times. That way we know it is secure. Okay, so now you're gonna just make a U shape. I wouldn't go too far deep into your hat because then there'll be less space for your head. So just about 3 or 4 rows down would probably be okay. See how I'm not going too far in? Okay, so there is that extra fabric I was talking about earlier. And you're gonna go ahead and secure it by just looping it around a few times like we did in the beginning. And I would turn your hat right side out and try the hat on before tying it off. Just look like that. Alright, now that you have satisfied with the size, go ahead and weave in the ends. And make sure that the top of the hat is secured by tying knots. I'm going to pull through and then go in that loop right there. And then that is my knot. So now I'm going to just weave in the ends like so. Alright, I'm going to cut that excess off, and that's it. So now I'm going to turn this inside out. Okay, let's go ahead and get started on those ear flaps. We're going to make 2 of them. And come from here to here. Alright, get some stitch markers and figure out a placement to put them. Make sure that the stitches is an even number. I just kind of eyeball it for now and then try it on to see how it would look. Just look in the mirror and see how that would work. So I just do general fussing and just make sure that the other side is even. Alright, so that's what the thickness of it. So I would make the other side a little bit bigger to match it. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started on the ears. We're going to do that slip stitch like we did earlier. Alright, get that X going. And we're going to flip it over. Get our hook under, over, pull through, and get that knot towards it. Now we're going to chain 12. Now this is the size for my hat. If it is bigger or smaller, feel free and do so, just as long as it's an even number. Now we are going to skip the first chain from the hook and half double crochet all the way around, all the way down. All right. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through. This is just like what we did with the hat. We're only crocheting in the first stitch in the chain. Okay, you should have 11 stitches. Alright, so we're going to do row 2 and we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. Now we are going to start decreasing to form that triangle. We're going to yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, insert into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then all 3 loops. Now we're going to do 7 half double crochets in each stitch. Pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Okay, now we are doing a decrease at the end. Pull through. Oh. And pull through 2 loops and pull through all 3 loops. Alrighty, so now we're going to just do a half double crochet all the way down. So this is essentially what it's going to be. So you're going to decrease on both sides, and then the next row you'll do a half double crochet all the way down. So if your project is bigger or smaller, that is the general idea. So now for row 4, we're going to chain 1, decrease, and then we're going to half double crochet in the middle, and then the last 2 stitches we're going to decrease. So yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through. We have 3 loops, yarn over, insert our hook, alright, yarn over, pull through, we have 5 loops, yarn over, pull through all loops. So the first row there was more pull throughs than this decrease, but I found it easier just to pull through all 5 loops. Alright, we're going to yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through 3 loops, yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through. Now there's 5 loops, yarn over, pull through all loops. Alright, this is what your project should look like. Okay, so we're going to chain 1 and half double crochet all the way down. All 3, yarn over, pull through. Alright, so now we're going to do the decrease on the ends, 3 half double crochets in the middle. Yarn over, pull through. We're speeding this up just a little bit because it's the same thing over and over. So now for row 7, we are going to chain 1 and half double crochet all the way down. You should have 5 stitches. Okay, so for row 8 and row 9, it's going to be decreases on the ends and then half double crochet in the middle, and then row 9 is just going to be a half double crochet all the way down. Now if you want to pause the video to do that, you may do so. Okay, so for row 10, we're going to do a chain 1, half double crochet, and a decrease, and then you should have 2 stitches left. Okay, and now the final row is just going to be a decrease to make that point. Alrighty, so we're going to yarn over, chain 1 first, yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through all 5 loops. There you have it. So now you're going to place the ear flaps on the hat and try it on for placement, and then you are going to start sewing this and securing it. But I would recommend you try it on to make sure that it is not in your eyes or way too far back on your head. Get that stitch marker out. Alrighty. You're just going to sew it together, just like so. Now you're going to secure the ear flaps by creating a knot. You're going to pull through those loops. Alright, there you go. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on those pom-poms. Pom-poms will be at the end of your ear flaps. So you have cut a long string on the ear flaps when you did the decrease. So you're just going to make a string that's the same length as the ear flap end. You're going to fold that in half. Just make sure it's the same height or length. Okay, so you are going to get your yarn needle. See how it's all the same? Alright, go ahead and get the yarn needle and pull through. And then even it out. Like that. Okay, so you are going to braid this. So you have 3 strings. And you're going to do 1 in the middle. 1 in the middle, 1 in the middle, 1 in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten it, but that's essentially what I'm doing. If you've never braided before, that is exactly how you braid. A simple one. Okay, once when you're done braiding, you're going to make a knot at the very bottom of that braid so it doesn't come undone. Here you go. And now you're going to make 2 of those. So here is the pom-pom portion. So you're going to take some string and you're just going to keep winding just like so. I'm using 3 fingers because that's how big I want it to be. If you want a huge pom-pom, you would use more fingers to wrap around. Okay, so I think that is enough. I'm going to cut a long string. And you're just going to kind of wiggle it around, kind of secure it a little bit, and slowly get that pom-pom out of your fingers. There we go. So be careful with it. You want to keep that spiral and just kind of wrap that end around. And then you're going to cut more of that skein. There we go. And you are going to tie this by double, triple knot. Just make sure that it is not going to come undone. Just like a present. There we go. I triple knotted it, and now we're going to just take our scissors and we are going to cut along the edge of that fold. Just along the edge. And you probably won't get all of it at once, but just be careful so you're not cutting the tie you put in the middle. So you want to just cut the top layer. There you go. So just make sure there's no loops in there other than the tie that you did. I found a few more. There we go. There's a few more loops in there. Alright, we're going to do it on the other side of this pom-pom. Alright, I'm going to cut the top fold. Here we go. I got a few more I need to do. There we go. So as you can see, there are two longer strings than the rest, and that is where your tie is, and you don't want to lose that, and you don't want to cut that off just yet. So I like to hold onto it like a lollipop, just with my thumb and index finger, and cut the excess off to make the pom-pom even, so it doesn't look like it's everywhere. Kind of like a bonsai tree, honestly. So that's what it looks like after it's trimmed and everything is even as possible. So with that longer string, you are going to tie it right at that knot of your hat, and just make sure it's secured however you want to tie it on your hat. I typically do double, triple knots just to make sure. There we go. But when you finish securing it, then you would cut the excess of that knots right there. That way it's all the same height. There we go. Just like that. So that's it. That is how you make Molly's hat from the Runaways. And I'm curious, have you ever read the comic book series or watched the TV show on Hulu? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you found this tutorial helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content like this, feel free and subscribe. And if you have any questions about how to make this hat or any request of future tutorials, please leave a comment down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Want to see how cool my shirt is? Ah, yes! It's a full-on like hoodie tank top. Urgh. I love it.